Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav is likely to contest next month's UP election from the Karhal seat in Mainpuri district, which is seen as a Yadav family stronghold, party sources said on Thursday evening. Karhal has voted for a Samajwadi Party candidate in every election since 1993, except for 5 years between 2002 and 2007 when the BJP flipped the seat. The seat is currently held by Sobaran Yadav. News of Mr. Yadav's likely battleground choice comes amid persistent speculation that he could follow UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath in contesting his first assembly election. The BJP on Saturday had said that Adityanath, a 5-term MP from Gorakhpur, would contest state polls from there. Moving on to the next news, delays in genome sequencing samples from COVID patients to identify the strain of virus in each case is due to a lack of funds for chemical reagents, top health ministry sources have told NDTV. 5 labs across the country, part of INSACOG or the Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genetics Consortium, a network of 38 tasked with genome sequencing, have closed because of this, sources said. Sources also said this lack of reagents, which is a substance added to the sample to cause a chemical reaction, is becoming a problem as the government tries to identify cases of the more infectious Omicron strain so it can isolate and contain the virus. Moving on to the next news. The BJP today announced its first lot of candidates for Goa with a big omission, Utpal Parrikar, the son of former Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar. The party has rejected Utpal Parrikar for his father's seat, Panji, and chosen Congress alum Atanasio Babush Monserrate instead. Utpal Parrikar is reportedly firm on contesting from Panji and has refused the BJP's offer of 2 other seats. I will clear my stand soon, he told reporters. The BJP's Devendra Fadnavis said Utpal had been offered 2 other options. We feel he should accept it. BJP has always given respect to the Parrikar family, Mr. Fadnavis said, hoping to stave off a revolt. Moving on to the next news, Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has written to the Prime Minister again, strongly underscoring her reservations about the proposed changes in the rules for IAS cadre, which have been further revised. Referring to her letter of last week, she said the centre has meanwhile accentuated its stand and its revised draft is taking the matter to non-federal extremes. I find the revised amendment proposal more draconian than the former, she wrote in the 2-page letter, contending that its very grain is against the foundation of our great federal polity. The government's proposal will enable it to transfer IAS and IPS officers through central deputation, doing away with the requirement of taking the state's approval. Under the revised draft, the officer concerned will stand released from his/her current assignment forthwith, Ms. Banerjee wrote. Moving on to the next news, the hospitalization rate during the third surge in COVID cases fueled by the highly contagious Omicron variant has been significantly lower than during the second wave last year when the Delta variant caused severe respiratory issues in many patients, leading to the healthcare infrastructure being challenged to its limits, the government said today. The number of deaths due to the viral infection is also significantly less in the third wave of coronavirus in comparison to the second wave, the health secretary added. Using a graph of positivity rate map against COVID beds occupied in hospitals during the second and third surges in Delhi, Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan demonstrated that the current surge has been less severe.